Welcome, everyone. My name is Anthony Milton. It's a pleasure to be before you today with another series. As I mentioned before, when I started this series, I was thinking I saw an article where it said Abusification of American male. And that's interesting. So I read this subject and I was intrigued by what I read. And I looked at it and I applied it to myself and I applied it to friends and family members. And I see in society as a whole and people I met on the street, strangers. And I said it'd be a good thing to share my thoughts and views. Like I said, I have no power to make you do anything or control you. It's just sharing educational information that you may never heard of. So if you like what you heard, just share it with other people. As I began this year, I thought it will be maybe like one or two little segment. And then one morning I woke up and a thought came to my mind, why don't you continue doing it? Because we, because we always watch television shows. We always run home and watch our favorite TV show. And how often you watch any show that will educate you to a point that it hits you with the truth, hits you right between the eyes? You may not like what you heard, but it speaks the truth. It may cause you to question your own behavior, your own attitude about things in life. You may never heard it from your mother or your father or grandparents. You may just winged it or learn it from the street, or even things that you and I are doing now may have been useful and benefit us, but doesn't make it right. So I decided to intrigue you with my thoughts and viewpoints. And one, I had this thought today, say, who am I to tell you anything? I'm no one. I'm just an individual that got some common sense and have a conscience. I can say my background, I used to work in law enforcement, and being a law enforcement officer, you have to be a doctor, lawyer, psychologist. You have to be all these certain professions rolled up into one, because you never know who you may meet in the course of your duty, line of duty. And then you're always regretting or thinking, did you do the right thing? And then sometimes you wonder if you're going to make it back home, after a shift. So it's a stressful job, but you get your some gratification out of it. You can only help one person at a time. So as I put all these subjects together and to intrigue you, to pique your interest, to make you think, I learned from a long time ago that I lived a lifestyle that wasn't uh, peaches and cream. I can say I live by the lust of my eyes and lust of the flesh and lust of the things that I want. But yet, in the meantime, I knew that it was wrong. But I still entertain myself in it. Let me see if I got it in order. I still entertain myself in the things, to enjoy. So I began to think about what can I do, benefit life. A lot of us, some individuals are married or got husbands and wives and children, and that's good for some. And there's other individuals that see that they have a special calling or purpose in their life. Should they die, any given day, what have they left that someone can benefit from? If I touch one individual from the things that I share on these live videos, and those who watch it in the future, then I have done my job. It's not about fame or notoriety. Of course, those things come if it is meant to be, but just it's the motive behind why I do what I do, because I feel I have to. I don't have to do it. I choose to do it. I feel that I must do it, and who knows what direction should go. And today, when I was thinking about what to share, the title of this topic is I call it Abusification of a Male, the Unspoken Truth. Yes, there's an unspoken truth out there that men are hit on, are abused emotionally, psychologically, physically, and mentally, and then some are used, female use sex to control their man. But you never hear, you always can turn on a television show and hear a woman on one of these talk shows and say, my husband left me for another man. It might not be nice as I'm saying it. They say, my boyfriend left me. He got me pregnant. He got this other woman pregnant. What can I do? Dr. Phil or Oprah or whomever show, Jerry Springer, any of these talk shows, they go on their show and they express how they feel. And anytime when a woman is hit on or beat on or being abused in some way of fashion, she tended to think, she may think that other women are experiencing the same thing, so she don't tell. But mostly some women will pick up the phone and call their friend or girlfriend or mother or whomever and say, my man is beating on me. What should I do? It's a girl. You better leave him or get out the house. Will he kill you or will he hurt you? But very rare that a man will pick up the phone and call another male and say, yo, bro, or yo, my friend, I got something to confess with you. My lady is beating me up. She's abusing me. They're not going to do that because they have set themselves up as a male on the outside, and they're not going to express themselves in that manner to another man because they may be considered wimp, not manly, girly, or whatever, and say, look at you, look how strong you are, look what you wear, look how you address yourself in front of me, and people admire you, people respect you, and you coming to me. So they don't come to a man and express how they feel because the shame or the embarrassment or the point of the finger or their secret might be out. Their friend may go back and say, boy, I got something to tell you. So-and-so called me last night crying on the phone. So-and-so, he may not be physically crying, but he may be crying and what he's going through. And he shocked me, man. I thought I just listened to him because I didn't know what to say because I never heard of a man calling anyone and confessing that he's being beaten up. And then they don't even have a shelter. When I was a law enforcement officer, I used to take the female to a shelter for battered women. They stay there for so many days that they have kids, they stay longer, but there's no shelter that I've heard of, in my day of time. There may be some, I may be wrong, but there's no shelter out there where you can take a man and say, I'm being beaten up by my woman or my wife or my girlfriend or a bunch of women, and can I stay here? They look at you like, excuse me? You probably look around like, wait a minute, did I hear something? Or come again, say again, you being abused by a woman? Look how strong you are. Look how manly you are. This must be a big woman that beats you up. And sometimes it's not a big woman. It may be someone small, but it's the mental control that they have over their man. So most men will not even confess. So it's difficult for them to say, I have been beaten up. I'm being abused psychologically and physically. And I did some research to say that it's almost 800,000 men victims experience domestic violence. It's about control and it is about control. And should they get out of the dangerous situation and seek help? But most men will not seek help. They will stay in a relationship for whatever reason at that time and decide that, hey, I'm just going to stay in and then, tolerate it and have my little girl on the sides, tolerate it. And when the time is right, I'm going to just leave her before I get the strength and bust her in the head or something, which would be wrong. So most men are silent on the issue that they are being abused. They hide behind the closed door. They come home, they put on a persona out there in the street, 9 to 5, in whatever position they're working, and they come home to an abusive woman, verbally belittling them, you get your own food. I'm not cooking for you. Just treat them all kinds of way, and because the relationship is out of order. So most men will not tolerate it because the perception of society, because they never hear it. They never hear it. I can give stories where I have gone on patrol and come across a situation where I recognize immediately that the woman was the man and the man was the woman. You may say, how is that? You have a physical man and a physical female. It's the thinking that the individual and how the individual think. Like my other videos where I say feminate of a male. So I wrote a book. I'm always writing. I've been writing for almost 40 years. Some that's unknown because they never known me as a writer. I kept it to myself, and I shared something about that when I was on a couple of the videos. But I kept it to myself. But I was writing something. I write something. I'm a spontaneous writer. I think out of all the writings that I wrote over the years, only 3 of them has become because someone asked me to write something to help them or to give to them, because one young lady was having a youth gathering in the local park, and she wanted me to write something so it can relate to the teenagers. So I wrote something titled You're My Dog, because young people, even older people, say, You're my dog. I saw a commercial the other day where Randy was judging the dog, said, You're my dog, you're not with it. I don't see it with you. And then at the very end, he said, You're my dog, you got it, and the dog just standing there, So I I use the dog and show that individual by a dog based on their personality. And some of us behave like a dog. You have the Duke dog, the Bowser dog, the sleep around dog. You have dogs that just, when a dog meet another dog, what do they do? People say, I don't know. When a dog meet another dog, what do he do? A dog will sniff another dog on the rear end. So when a man see a woman, what do? He look at a woman rear end to define, is she good or whatever his intention may be when he's looking at a woman. So we as males must admit that we hurt, we experience pain emotionally, physically, and psychological. Don't hide behind the curtain. So I decided to create a website on my YouTube channel because it spun off because of my book I wrote. I titled the book The Hidden Tears of a Black Male. And you may say, why the hidden tears of black male? You prejudice against other races. No, it's not about being prejudiced against other races. It's that I am a black male. I can relate to my own experiences, my experience when I was in law enforcement, my experience of talking to people in the street. People have come to me or called me or emailed me, asked me questions. I can relate to what they're going through. And I gave a copy of this book to a particular young lady, a Mexican young lady, and she read. I wanted her to read the book and give me a review and write something on it, which she said she would when she finished reading the book. And then when I, excuse me, one time I saw her, she was shocked to tell me that when she read the book, she saw her boyfriend in the book, and it helped her to understand why he was behaving the way he's behaving. And not only that, it helped her to understand her boyfriend, it also helped her to understand how she's was behaving. I said, wow, you got that from the book? She said, yes, because I'm a person that when I read a book, I go line by line and write notes and whatever. And I was impressed that she got that from the book because I didn't look at the book in that manner. I just look at the book as, oh, it's a book, I want to touch other people. I'm sharing, if it's sell, I want to sell, so I have to promote it. And so the title of the book is The Hidden Tears of a Black Male. And you can go to the YouTube channel, just type that in, The Hidden Tears of a Black Male, and you see a bunch of videos that I uploaded. A thought of the day, subject matter, make you go, So I'm going to share, this is the title, this is the book. But when I thought about it last night and even today, I said, wow, when I scan through it, I see a lot in this book relate to me. It keep you guessing, is it about Anthony? Is it about whom this is about? You got to be about Anthony. You might even see yourself in the book. But there's one particular chapter is condensed, very small, one page, but it's a longer version. But my editor, she read the book and she edited the book and she downsized it. So I'm gonna share something with you. I recall going to Barnes and Noble, and I shared this at Barnes and Noble, and I had people. I can tell that I had their attention. And at the very end, when I said the last sentence, they go, wow, they did not look at it in that way when I was reading it. So let me read it to you, and hopefully you get something from it and you can share with other people. The title of it is Why I Cannot Tell. Why can I not tell anyone you drew me up against the wall? I did everything to break my fall. I cried on my knees, you kept kicking me until I could not breathe. I looked up at you with tears in my eyes. You struck me saying I should accept your lies. Don't throw me out in the cold. Nothing will be told. I would call the police, but they will be in disbelief that I have waited so long to seek release. Oh baby, please pick me up off my knees. I need to take a risk to be rid of your fists, but I'm afraid to tell the tale because I'm a man abused by a female. And I said, wow, that's interesting. This is a short version. I like the longer version where I say that, I'm afraid to go to sleep at night because you may kill me. I'm afraid to go to the hospital because, you go to the hospital and You pretend that everything's okay. You know, you want to hug and kiss. You know, you want to, rape me at night when I'm sleeping in my bed. Men's do get raped. If do your own homework, men have been raped by females, and vice versa. So we need to begin to flip the script, as some people may say, that men do experience abuse from female. It may be hard to sell. You may not want to believe it, but it's the truth. And when I finish this, I will upload and put on my YouTube channel, like I did the other two, and even on this Facebook broadcast, that for you men out there that want to have a place where you can share and open up your, share your tears where other men can benefit from them, email me. I will give you the email. I will not use your name. I will not use your email. I'll not sell it for anything. If you ask me to respond, I will respond. Other than that, let others let other males hear your story. That hey, it's nothing wrong with coming out of the closet, figuratively speaking, that you are being abused by a female, and until you're ready to seek help, you must first, and when you're ready to seek help, then you will seek help from a minister or to a professional counselor, or even someone that you can trust. And when I began this, I thought it was going to be a part or only one part, but I see that it can be multiple, part one and part two. Men don't want to tell that they're being abused because of the ridicule by the law enforcement officer, family, friends, and even the general public. Because if they make the news, we depend on if you are being are you a professional player, football player, into sports or into entertainment, and you report that you've been abused by your wife or your girl, then what happened? Everybody will say, really? Oh, they're going to laugh at you and smile in your face, but laugh behind your back. So there are no abuse shelters that there are no abuse shelters that men can go to that I know of. So they stay behind the closed doors. Some men are beaten, burned, choked, kicked, slammed with a heavy object, slapped or hit with a fist, punch, bit, bite, bit, spit on. Some women use weapons, guns, bottles, knives, and psychological abuse to control their man. These women abuse the man with humiliation, intimidation, belittling words. You're just like your dad. You're never going to be nothing. That's why the other women left you, because you're no good. I see why, why I'm tolerating you. You're not good. You're not good sex. You're not this and this and this. So she belittling you with all kinds of things, making you feel bad. And, and it's all to control you, and you don't want to go anywhere because you can't go anywhere based on your financial position. You may be with her because how she looks. She may make earn more of the money, and you may say, well, no one will believe you, so you keep your mouth shut. Men will fear that when they tell the truth, other people will not believe them and think that they are the one that's perpetrating the abuse on the females. Some abused female may feel that it's about time. Some women may feel that it's about time that men experience what they had experienced or is experiencing. This is not to justify a woman should hit a man or a man should hit a woman. No one should be hitting each other. They should be able to communicate. If they cannot properly communicate, they should seek counseling from a minister or close friends, someone they can trust that won't go out there and tell their business. So justifying what he or she done to you is wrong, because you're going to reap what you sow. It's not, it's not, it is not justified now if they lie. I'm sorry. Now, if your life is in danger, if your life is in danger, a man is attacking you with a gun and with a knife, yes, vice versa, a man can push you off or knock you down or do something to stop you from harming them or vice versa. That, I think that's the only time it's the situation and the motive behind the abuse. If you're being physically attacked, there's a gun in your face, a gun to your head, and you feel that you can grab it or do something to protect your life. Yes, you may use physical or a weapon or anything to get rid of that person off you. So I can feel that that's be justified, but not just any old justification when he or she slapping you just, well, I'll pay them back. And female has female, has male, female, we know that it's acceptable. It's not acceptable because we hear it all the time. And then male balance has male balance been shoved under the rug? Is men don't report because men are not reporting that they are being abused, so it does not make the local news in the community. We can see there's a double standard. Most, I guess, I won't say it's a double standard in a way, because I feel if more men come out of the abuse closet and begin to share how they feel and what they're going through, then other men will take lead and follow them also and say, yes, she hit me, she did this, she did that, I need help. To bring the attention that men, uh, men experience is experiencing abuse, because it's not always the man's fault. We see and hear on television and radio where a man has beat up a woman, and they tell about the woman, say what he done to her. But there's got to be another story. There got to be another side of the story that caused the man to do that. It's still not, he can't justify it, but the woman play a role in also. She may be flippy at the mouth. She may be been abusive, and he fought back, and he don't want to say that he's being abused, so he take the rap. He take the, it's my fault, just because he don't want to say that he went out and his girl beat him up. So yes, we can't say it's a double standard, because most men uh, can't use that argument. No woman, some would say, well, no woman is strong enough to beat a man. They look at the size of the woman and look at the size of the man and say, how can they be abused by this little 5'99", 109-pound female? How can he harm her? Look at him. And then if he's a real man, of course, like I said last night, what is the definition of real man? Is a real man, hit a woman back? Is a real woman hit a male back? No. So we have got to come out of this mindset that looking at a person's size to determine that they are guilty or innocent, should not have weight on us believing it. It's about the mind, the control. If the man has been pussified, if the man has been feminized in his mind over the years because of how he was brought up with no father in the home, or he been pussified, weak-minded, that's what it means, weak in the mind, by emotional, sexual relationships, or just weak in the mind because he has never been taught how to behave like a man. So he's going to respond in a feminine type, girly type, unmanly way when he responds, because he lacked the backbone, or he gave up his authority, he gave up his manhood for whatever reason. So he can respond in a way that he only know that's natural to him. And we know that some women don't want a strong-minded man, a man that stand up, a godly man that stands up and say yes and no, this is how it's going to be. They don't want those kind of man. I recall one time in my days of dating, I used to like this young lady. I used to talk. She told me her history about being abused. She said, every man I get, always beat me up and whatever. And I said, what do you do? She stay with them. Every man I get, start dating, he keep hitting me and beat me. I said, well, then you are attracting what's in you. And now we should be nice and say, yes, ma'am, and be respectful and treat her nice. And she said, stop it, stop it, stop it. Why are you doing this? You pretending. No man act like this. I said, what do you mean no man act like this? She said, you got to be pretending. Will you quit it? Will you quit it? And when I say, will you stop it? When I raise my voice, I immediately look at how she respond. And I said, wow, that's what she used to. She was not used to a man, a gentlemanly type man that may open the door for her when they get in the car, or stand up when she gets to go to the bathroom, or just be respectful and mindful, not thinking about, oh, I'm taking out on a date, is I'm going to get something tonight. It's always the benefit. If I do this or that, is it going to benefit me? That is not a real man is not going to take a young lady out and expect something in return, or expect she should give it up, or whatever he may be thinking at a given time. He's going to take time to know her. He's going to take time to study her. He's going to see where the relationship goes and how it develops, because they may not develop into anything. And if he's blinded by, she look fine, she got a nice shape, she look good, so he tolerate those physical appearance to stay with her, to be with her, hoping that he may, take her to bed. And then once he takes her to bed, he said, go to the next girl. So we as men and women need to examine our behavior. So most, like I said, size does not mean that a man cannot be beaten. It's time for the abusive men to stand up and call the police, report the violence, refuse to give in to the abusers' threats and power over them. If you call the police, they're not going to believe you. If you call the police, I'm going to tell you, you're abusing our children or whatever she may think of. And you say, okay. And you go and you be mad. And then what do? You tolerate it for a while. And then you go out the door and you start looking for another woman to kind of replace her or just fill in the gap. You get the whatever you consider outside the relationship, and then you come home and you just tolerate it. So that's a form of abuse. She's controlling you. So do not allow your abuser to attack you while you sleep. Do not let your abuser to catch you off guard. Do not let your abuser to threaten you with children, taking money from you, or harming your pets. Yes, they can do that. And abuse is not limited to physical violence. Abuse can be emotionally, mentally, psychologically, and also sex. If you're arguing and fussing with your wife, then it's wrong to lay in the bed and engage in a sexual relationship because it doesn't solve the problem. But if the woman or you are withholding sex for another purpose that has nothing to do with physical violence and you just using it as control, then that is wrong. Don't allow her to verbally abuse you, belittle you. You're no good. You're just like your father. You're just like any other man that I dated. You're not man enough. You're not good enough for me. You're too weak-minded. You don't stand up for your right. I notice you. I just tolerate you. I just put up with you, but I'm going to get out of this house. Sooner or later, leave you alone. She may have she may humiliate you in front of your friends and family members and belittle you and say smart little things. She may even take to the internet and write things about you and then to embarrass you, to tell things about you that ought not to be said. And she can be possessive. Yes, we have some possessive, jealous females that will harass you without accuse you with make accusation against you of being unfaithful. We talk about marital men. If you're single and you're dating someone, you're going to experience this, but you shouldn't be dating if you're not married, engaging in any kind of sexual relationship if you're not married. But that's another topic of discussion for another day, and you can do your own homework. She may take the keys, and we know, I've seen it. Women take the keys from you and keep you from going out the house. Take your car. She go outside and scrape the car. She key the car. She busts out the window, and say you did it. She tear up the house and say that you did it, and then you end up going to jail when the officer get there. So she do all this stuff to take control. She try to control the money. You bring me the money and I spend it, and then she spend it and give you this and give you that. You relinquish your authority, and she want a separate bank account, but you got to put most of all your money in. And then when you call into question that, baby, you spending too much, then she kept, well, I've been married to you for so many years and you never say nothing about it now. So why are you saying something about nothing? Get out of my face, please. Leave me alone. And she slammed the door. She get in the car and drive off. We know. So false accusation can be made against you and your friends and relatives and family members may not believe you, even when the police officer come to your house and say, well, I don't believe, excuse me. The first thing to do when the officer come to your house, they're going to assume that the male is the aggressor, he's the abuser, but it's not the male, it's the female. And she may find many, many ways, a woman can find many, many ways to manipulate and isolate you and threaten to leave you and prevent you from even seeing your kids and take you to court and abuse you in that manner. She squeezed every mighty dollar out you when it comes to child support. And don't let you get another job. Don't let you get a job and she hear that you're making more money and she see you riding a nice car and nice clothing. She's going to take you back to court, and 9 times 10 the court will believe her because she cries, say, I need more money for my baby and he's not doing this. And lo and behold, they squeeze more money out you and squeeze more money out you, and you just, I can't take this. And so that's another way of being abused you mentally, emotionally, and psychologically. And then tell the kids that you're no good. The reason why you broke up, the reason why we left, the reason why we depart, because you're not being a man as you're supposed to be. Blaming you for every single thing, and then it brainwash the child. And the child, if it's a girl, And sometimes it's a boy, they tend to believe their mom before they believe the dad. And then once, if the child is staying in the custody of the mother, then some mother will always tell the child, that will tell things subtly to turn their child against the father and to make him out to being a bad guy. So conclusion, I would say, any male from the sound of my voice, if you are experiencing or had experienced physical, emotional, mental, and psychological abuse that is affecting you today, seek help from a minister or close friend, someone you can talk to that will listen to you and not tell your business and make you feel like you're a wimp or, or ridicule you behind your back. Fight the pride, fight self. Self gonna tell you, hey man, don't call so and so because they're gonna laugh at you. Don't get no counseling. Just tough it out, man. Be a man. Tough it out. Tough it out. It may get better, and then she constantly beating you over the head. She might throw a frying pan, throw hot water on you, throw hot grits on you, and catch you at night. Read stories where women end up cutting the men private parts off when he go to bed, or super glue it when he go to bed, or do certain things to him because she found out that he's cheating on her. And then when a man do those things, which is still wrong, he go to jail. He's quick to go to jail. The woman is not, and he's not believed if he said that she's abusing me. So don't be silent anymore. Begin to speak out. Let your story be heard. Let other men know that it's okay to express what you're going through, how you dealt with it, how you dealt with what you went through, and can it benefit someone else? We don't see that and hear that in society. We may hear it in close quarters and different locations, but on a national broad scale, we don't hear it where a man will run home or drive home or go home or stay home to listen to other men express and open up their heart about the tears that they are shedding in their behavior, what caused them to do what they do and why they react, because he may repress it so much within himself that one day she may hit him and he just flipped the strip. He just flipped without thinking and kill her or hurt her or shot her, shoot her or whatever it may be. And say he never did nothing wrong. He never been in jail. He never did this. He never did that. Maybe because he has repressed those feelings for so long that one day she came home and she may have done something very simple and he blowed the spark plug and hit her and caused her bodily harm. An officer comes, taken to jail, and he never shared what he had went through with her because he don't want to be embarrassed. He don't want to sit in front of a TV camera or sit in an interview room and be crying or whatever and say, my girl man beat me up. Look at the scar. Look at my back. Look at the hidden wound behind my clothing, what she's done to me. And the officer's going to say, well, why have you not reported it? It's too late now. Arrest you, and you go to jail, stay there, might get a bond, might get out, might go to court and spend time in prison. So revealing unspoken truths can help make others make their decision. Come out from behind the closet, the door of your mind, and share your abuse. Seek help to be free from the mental repress, push down, not confessing, not you must forgive. That's the key. Forgive her for what she have done. You don't have to tolerate it. You can forgive her for what she's done. And if she's willing to listen to you and decide to seek help with both of you all go to counseling or separate counseling or together or come together in a group setting with other couples that experience abuse, you'd be surprised what may happen. So come out from the closet and don't respond with whatever physical uh, idea that you may think, because if your wife is abusing you and she has been abusing you over the years and you decide to try to abuse her, she gonna look at you, you coming against me? Then she may up the ante on the abuse to try to teach you a lesson. So it'd be a power play of saying, oh, you're going to show me, you're going to try to treat me a certain way, I'll fix you. So don't follow that road. Don't go that direction. Report the abuse, seek help, and do not worry about what other people may say or think. Do not worry about what other people may think and say. Seek the help that you need. Like I mentioned, This is a subject that's not being spoken of on a regular basis. It doesn't make the news. It makes the news if the person is rich and wealthy in high society, whatever you call high society. But the low Joe on the corner, in the streets, 9 to 5 job, coming home doing the best he can. And think about it. A man can be doing the best he can with what is he has, providing food and stuff on the table, and yet it's still not good enough for the woman because she's looking beyond her husband and maybe be looking at another man who promised that he can support her and vice versa. So she's begin to abuse her husband by sleeping around with another man, unbeknownst to him until he find out. And then she said, you drove me to him because you will not provide my needs. Every time I need something, you always complain. Every time I need, you always complain about the money. So women do that, but we always hear from the other side, woman is doing it to the man. I'm sorry, the man is doing it to the woman. So thank those of you who have joined me in this broadcast and those of you who watch it in the near future. If you enjoy what you heard, share it with your other male friends or even a woman. I say it can cross the other line. This is part one. I have several other parts to go along with this that will be coming from my book. You can always order it from Amazon.com, create.com, or you can order from me by using my email and I can autograph it for you. And but think about it. Do you want to be set free from your emotional, emotional, physical, psychological, and sexual abuse from the hands of a female? The unspoken truth. The unspoken truth need to be shared. Allow other individuals, other males to hear your story. That is why I put together the hidden tears of a black male. If you want to share your story, like I said, an email will be on the website. An email will be on the video that you can write me a short version. I will not use your name. I will not sell your email address. I will not even email you. Only if you ask me to a question and I'm responding to you, but I will share your story in a way to allow other. I will only address you as the viewer. The viewer wrote me this and shared this with me, and they want other men to say it's okay to tell. It's okay to tell. It's okay to reveal another side. It's not. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you girly. You're seeking help. You want help before you must change your way of thinking. In order to change your behavior and attitude, you must change your way of thinking. You must surround yourself with positive male role models that have gone through what you have gone through, that have experienced what you have experienced, that have seen it in their life, like I mentioned, me being a law enforcement officer and things like that. I've seen it out there. It's an unspoken truth among blacks, white, of any race, but it's not shared because a woman makes the news much faster than a man. And a woman can lie. Yes, a woman can lie about being abused by a male because she may want a divorce. She may want money. She may want to take the kids. She may want to squeeze the lemon and take every drop from you because somebody had told her that he can do better than you, and you're not a real man because you want to be a responsible, God-fearing man that say, let us discuss this, let us sit down, let us see what direction we're heading with a motive. And if no is no, then no is no. Not no is no. And then I find me a man on the other side that fill in the gap because you lack. So once again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening. If you like what you heard, you can go to my YouTube channel. I will upload it there tonight. You see the button on the side to subscribe, share it, make a comment. Even on this Facebook page, you can share with your other friends. Allow them the opportunity to hear. Don't think for them. Allow them to hear what you have heard. It's not about forcing or making someone believe anything. It's about educating individuals in areas when they may be afraid to act. And especially, and I'm quite sure there are a lot of males out there who's on the verge of suicide. I will share this with you and I'll close. I recall many years ago when I was living in Florida before I even was married. I was young then, and this young lady knew about me, and uh, I came home one day from answer, and I listened to my answer machine, and this person said, "Hello, Anthony. You do not know me, but I know somebody that know you." They told me, "Why don't you?" It was a man, and I could tell it was a white man. He said, "You don't know me, but someone else know of you," and they gave me your number and said, "Call Anthony and talk to him because maybe he can help you." And he told me, this is his story. He said, "Anthony, I came home one day and I caught my wife in the bed with another man. It hurt me so much, I want to kill myself." He was thinking about killing himself. But my friend who know of you say call. But when I call you and I heard something, I heard a message on your answer machine, but it wasn't the message that really got to me. It's how you said what you said. It opened my eyes, and I'm not gonna do this. And then I didn't get a call from the person who gave him my number because I figured if he had killed himself, she would have probably called me and said, "Did so and so call you?" And I would say yes, and she'd probably say, "Well, he did this last night," but I never received a call. And I prayed today that he's living and he did not take uh, his life. So a lot of men will take because they cannot deal with the emotional, psychological. They cannot deal with the public scrutiny. They cannot deal with the ridicule that they may get from their family member, special according to their status. They may go like, the only out to keep from being shamed is to take their life. So those of you, any one of you in the sound of my voice that may be thinking along the lines, or you know someone that show tendency, he's withdrawal, giving things away. He's not really into life, he's, dragging along, 9 to 5, just really just dog kind of way. Think about it, they might be going through something that don't go challenge them, but just say, "Hey, I see that you know, then you're not the you like I used to know, and maybe they may open up to you. They may open up to you much faster because you approach them than they're approaching you. Think about it. They may open up much faster if you approach them, if you're led to approach them, than them coming to you because they be saying, "Well, Joe came to me or Psalm came to me," and then they don't want that they came to you kind of thing. So allow them to uh, put them in a way of that you initiate it in such a way where it does not attack their manhood. Because even though a man is being physically abused by a woman, he don't want to be abused also by a man because that's like a double whammy. He comes to you for help and you ridicule him like, "Man, man, you a wimp, you doing this, you doing that. Hey man, wake up, slap out of it, go home and be a boss, kind of stuff. I didn't know this about you." And so you don't need you don't need a second abuse from your friends or your homies or the boys on the street or your coworkers. You need someone that look you straight in the eye and say, "You need counseling. You need help." Think about it. Thank you once again, and good night.